Aloha, friends and family. Let's talk about the two spirit worlds. Let us start with before enlightenment, before self-realization, upon passing from this world into the spirit world, you have no true identity to go forward with. You have no true identity to proceed with. So in that sense, the drop of water that returns to the ocean just becomes the big full ocean or big empty ocean, where there is the one great consciousness, and you readily recognize yourself as that one great consciousness. But the individual is utterly gone. Now, when we go into the spirit world after enlightenment, after self-realization, we have an identity to actually proceed with, an actual identity to move forward with. And so we proceed into these spheres. And what I mean by that is the integrated self-awareness of self as an individuated portion of source is able to move into these spheres of consciousness. And this is primarily happening in a way that we would think of as thought, not locomotion. Although locomotion appears and feels to be part of the movement into these spheres. And so when we pass away this time, we won't be going, and let's back up to the other one for a minute because I kind of left it incomplete. So we go back into the oneness of it all when we pass on before enlightenment to prepare for reincarnation. So when we say you reincarnated, there really is no identifiable you yet. So when you reincarnate, you just become a human on this third density earth plane again, and start all over from scratch, if you will, not remembering anything of the former. But when we pass into the spiritual realm after having enlightenment, and we can carry an identity into the spirit world, when we are able to handle the frequencies of these spheres of consciousness in and of the spirit world, then we are able to progress. And what that caused me to realize was that, so this whole principle of you reap what you sow is literally meaning for us, you're creating the reality that you are going to move into in the spirit world right here in this world after enlightenment. So we are creating that which we are going to experience and see, and this is not a physical thing, and this is not even a conscious thing. This is a spirit conscious or super conscious thing, and it's quite automatic, although it takes our full cooperation. So that is to say then, well, here's another thing about the spirit world once we're moved into it from this world, is we will actively and automatically decide how much physicality or humanness or carnalness that we will manifest in the spirit world. That'll be solely up to us. In other words, your free will is fully intact. And see, so if you were to still have carnalities or bad habits or things, and see, that's a realm where it gets real confusing in there, because there are no true absolutes. Bad and good are both opposite sides of the same coin. Sometimes bad is good and sometimes good is bad. So we can't make any blanket dogmatics about it. But when examining the self through the eyes of the consciousness in the spirit, we may see that we are lacking mastery in some way. Okay, and so by being able to manifest in the spirit world how much physicality we're going to manifest, how much humanness we're going to manifest, well, it'll affect what we can do there. It'll affect where we can go there. Like maybe you can't go into the 7th sphere. Maybe you have to start out in the 1st sphere. Or maybe you can access the first 3 spheres, but not those. See what I mean? So it's as we can integrate more of our true selves, more of our absolute true identity, which really is that giant ocean of the oneness. Only we as an individuated consciousness dumped back into that, we lose ourselves. So in order to progress in the spirit world, into the spiritual realm, and end the cycle of reincarnation, we must build now. By innerstanding, you reap what you sow. We must build now that, and it's just a lot like this world. It's not like it's vastly different from this world. It's not. There's trees, there's flowers, there's plants, there's bugs, there's air, there's water. Yeah, all of it in the spirit world. But it is different in here in some ways, because there all of these things are incorruptible. Here they're all corruptible. So recycling happens, right? The cycles happen. Reincarnation, rebirth, regrow the tree, regrow the flowers, regrow next season, regrow the vegetables, on and on, endlessly cycling, which is not bad nor good, right? It's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing. It just is what it is. That's the way it works. So to break those cycles in the sense of making everything, not even making, moving into a realm that is incorruptible. See, and to move into our spirits with our integrated consciousness of self and the individuated portion or fractal of source, we're able to live in permanence See, everything here is impermanent. Everything here passes away. Everything here rises and falls. When we move into the spirit world this time, upon this departure from this realm, we're moving into permanence. Not that things couldn't decay there. See, it's never a dogmatic thing, but yet it's the what do they call those? A paradox. There's another word I'm reaching for, but it ends up being a paradox. But the thing that's permanent there is us as ourselves, as our true identities, as our true selves. And then from there, from the spirit world, that's just another layer of reality, or another layer of world that we're moving between. See, as we're progressing and expanding. And as this expansion happens, there's always further ahead that you're able to see. Or you see something you've seen 100 times, but then you really see it for the first time. You're like, holy shit, I just got that. I've heard that 100 times, or I've seen that 100 times, but I never saw it. I never got it. But I just got it. Now I see it. Once I was blind, but now I see. It's that whole thing. So that's why I say there are two spirit worlds. If you die unconsciously, you go into one spirit world that ultimately leads to reincarnation. And if you die enlightened, you go to the permanent, or what we could consider, let's say incorruptible, that's better. We go to the incorruptible version of the world. And see, this world, again, is just things from our minds, things from our consciousness manifested. So flowers and bugs and cars and gadgets and devices and phones and brushes, did I already say that? And canvases, and the things put on the canvases by the co-creators are all working the same way, working through and with and of these cosmic laws. And so just the same way that the artist is painting the painting on the canvas, after we are enlightened, we become aware that you're painting the next world that you're going to pass into when you leave this one. And of course, we would easily label that heaven. But not a dogmatic, biblical, Jehovah saith unto thee, the heaven with jewels and this. It's got all that. It's got all that. Flowers are jewels. Remember they said none of the jewels in Solomon's temple were even compared to the freaking lilies of the field and the flowers. And they spin and toil not, yet God clothes the meadow with those beautiful jewels. So again, this is an automatic thing. This is a manifestation thing, not some deity pointing and zapping and saying thus and thou. There's no need for it. Because the experience, the sight, the knowing, the remembrance, the integration, the harmony, the love, the balance, all speaks without words. And so God speaks with those wordless words. So it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, because the neighborhood that we're building in the next world, we're building right here, right now. And that's by commitment. That's by staying true. That's by being virtuous. That's by being honest. That's by self-introspecting and being honest with yourself. Not so much with others, although you want to be honest with everybody, right? But be honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself, you're not going to be honest with others. If you can't love yourself, you can't really love others. If you don't see the beauty and harmony and majesty and miraculousness within yourself, you will not be able to see it in others. So let us build a kick-ass sphere in the spirit world, or within the sphere. And again, what sphere is it? Which sphere do you end up at? Well, what do you most resonate with? What things do you like, the city or do you like the country? Well, I like the country. Okay, you'll probably have a lot of country in your sphere. And these things will just be there when we first get there, and things will manifest more in a like they do here, but we this thing of time messes us up. Because we think everything's happening slow and overbuilt. And it is, but it isn't. There's the paradox again. This can happen as quickly or slowly as we decide that it does. Not consciously decide, but again, by how much we let the superconscious come through this vessel, permeating its mind, permeating its opinions, permeating its preferences, permeating any dogmatisms it may have, right to the heart, and then emanating out as flow. Wow, the human is letting the Creator flow through it, through him, through her. That's when the magic happens. That's when stuff that you can't explain with the intellect, especially to other people that definitely don't get it. It'll make no sense to them. They'll be able to relate to it in no kind of way. But when it's the Creator, everybody can relate to it, because the Creator is coming through everybody. It's just, how much do we recognize it? How much are we working with it? How committed? How? Name your, what you're dealing with. And it's not always a struggle. It's not always, what are you struggling with today? How about, maybe your cup is running over to the point that it's running over. It's running all over the place. And it's like, well, normally that's kind of a bad thing. You're making a mess and no. When God's pouring into your cup and that sucker starts overflowing, you just in awe. You're amazed. Right? So enjoy, continue to build, continue to create, continue to expand, and continue to know and continue to trust all that is going to manifest from within you. Because it's all in there. All this is in there. I'm not telling you a darn thing that you don't know. But you might have forgot. Or you might need some refreshing. Or you might just have needed to hear a particular thing. Maybe the cup overflowing thing was just perfect. That was it. I needed that imagery, and boom, it hit me. I realized, holy hell, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. How did I forget my cup was running over like that? It's beautiful, amazing. Put me right back in the center. Put me right back in the balance. Put me right back where I know not only I need to be, I want to be. I want to be. I want to be there. And so we're there because that's all that it takes to get us there. Just want to be there. You will be there. You're there. Here we are. We're here. So we're already in the spirit world, and this is what it looks like. This is what it's going to look like. I'm saying that somewhat metaphorically, but this is what it's like. We have transported or teleported there right now. It will be like this right here. Why wouldn't it be? Love, unity, and light, as always. My beautiful friends and family, until next time.